Well, good morning, Hapeville friends and neighbors near and far. Welcome back to the Hapeville channel. I waited a little bit to take a walk this morning because it was 38 degrees when I woke up. Now it's 50. So I bundled up, and a few days ago I had done a walk and said I was going to walk down Old Jonesboro Road to see if this house that I had thought was being renovated was going to be torn down was still there. And then I got sidetracked, I realized, as I watched it back, and we never went there. Good morning, Tom. So I'm gonna head over there now and see if that house is there. As I mentioned before, it is one of the original 10 homes that was built in what was called the Moorland Park subdivision. There was a couple that owned, God, I think it was 80 some acres back at the turn of the century, and in 1938 that couple sold their property to a developer, and it was I think the second or third development in Hapeville, planned development like that, and they called it Moorland Park. I found a bunch of advertisements for it and posted them in the past on the Hapeville channel, so you can scroll through the photos there and see it if you like. But anyway, there were 10 original homes that the advertisement was drawing people down to look at. And a couple months ago, one of the houses, it had been sitting there empty for as long as I have been here, and then all of a sudden it was stripped and being renovated. Then it looked like a tree fell on it or something. So I'm still wondering if it got torn down or not. So anyway, I'm walking, let me flip this around. I am walking, I'm at Wheeler and Woodrow right now, behind this house, and I'm gonna head over there to Old Jonesboro Road. Good morning, Don. I'm glad you caught me live this morning. Bruce, welcome, Bruce. So that's looking down Woodrow Avenue, looking west, and we're walking over to Old Jonesboro Road. Seems like I walk down Old Jonesboro Road a lot, but we haven't gone down in past walks some of the streets up here, like Maple and Birch. I haven't really walked down them yet, so maybe I'll do that. I hope you're all having a good day, and it's beautiful where you are. It's quiet today. What is today? Thursday. There's 3240. Hi, Christy. Hi, Nita. Good morning. Gosh, it's lovely out. Here's 3234. I've passed it on several walks before. There's a man named Steve that lives there, and I've had people tell me they have memories of who lived there before. I forget who they told me. It's a name that I've heard before. I'm sure I've showed this to you before, but look how when he cut his tree down, he turned the stump into a little house. Yeah, Anita, it's cold. It's not so bad in this moment, but my house is a little drafty, and then my feet get cold, and once my feet are cold, they stay cold. Here's 3237 right at the corner of Oak Drive. I've always thought this big house, it must be, I'm guessing it was built in the 90s. It doesn't really fit in the area. 497. And what I mean is it just looks different. I don't mean it doesn't fit. It's beautiful. But it certainly looks different than other houses. But that does look like it would have been built in the late 90s. Maybe before. Little kitty running across the street. When you guys were young, were there, and you guys lived here, were stray animals a thing? I mean, we've got so many, just hundreds and hundreds of stray cats. We've always got stray dogs running around. Doc Morris, thank you, Don. That's right. Tom Morris. His sister was Sarah Kate Harris, who owned the stone house down the way. And y'all keep telling me that he was, you remember him being the pharmacist at the Eckerd. That's who lived there. Thank you. I'll remember that now. Oh, wow. For the first time, I've looked back there behind what used to be the Bevel's Bait Farm, and that there's water in that pond. You can't really tell, but usually it's all dry. I always wonder if they dug that pond themselves. I would imagine that they had to have dug that pond themselves. Look at these trees that are out here. Obviously they planted them here. This property just fascinates me, it really does. I wish I could learn more about that family and see pictures. There's Jackson Street. Have I ever mentioned that that little stretch back in, at least in 39, was called Burke, B-U-R-K-E? Oh, the sun feels good. There's number 3160 Old Jonesboro Road. And this house up here is still for sale. Nobody's bought it yet. Usually a house goes for sale in town right now and it just gets snatched up right away, but this one's still for sale. I love when you can tell that they were built at the same time because they're identical right next to each other. Jacqueline Myers, in case anybody's interested. 678-410-6270. Hi Meredith. Thanks for reaching out yesterday. I appreciate that. This is 3161 Old Jonesboro Road. It's for sale. My guess is 220,000? I don't know. What a beautiful day. I've never seen anybody come or go from this house since I've lived here. I think it's empty. I just found out that this house on the corner, my neighbor across the street, great guy, I really like him, Clay Melanson. Found out the other day, this is where he grew up. Look how cute they keep that on the corner of, what did I say again? Birch and Old Jonesboro Road, look at that. So the original 10 homes that were built in what was called Moorland Park, not Clay's house, but starting after it, and you count down this way. Yeah, it looks like, yeah. So that home that I wanted to check on, it's definitely being ripped apart, or it's falling apart. I can't tell. No, it's been ripped apart. I really thought they were gonna renovate it. They put new windows in it, and then one day I came out here and it was being torn down. So I think the tree behind it fell on it. You'll get a better look as we get closer. Oh, what address is for sale? Oh, I'll have to catch it on the way back. It would be 30, this is 3157. So just put in like 31, 57, 59, 60 if they're going up. Like it's like 3163 or something. But if you use Google, you saw where it is, you'll be able to like use Google Maps and move along the road and find it. Oh yeah, look at that. So of the original 10 houses that were on this street, this was one of them, and this is the first one. So it made it what, from 1938 until 2021 actually. Yep, they're tearing it down. Good morning, son. My son is here. Son, I actually have been thinking about you a lot this morning because I just got the footage from our trip to Hawaii that we took when you were 13. I just got that digitized, got it back from the guy today, and I was looking at it, and so I was really stuck in the past and feeling wistful and cried a bit. And I said to Douglas, I need to take a walk and be in the moment and get back into the life that I live now. So that's partly why I'm doing this, but I'm glad to see you here, son. I love you very much. Good morning, Carmen. It's just weird seeing you at 13 years old and now you're gonna turn 30 this year. I'm like, what happened? Where did it go? But this house looked just like this one. Very, very similar anyway. Not exactly the same, but it's being torn down. Love to get my hands on all that old wood there that's piled up. You could do some beautiful art with that. But you see, they had put new windows in it, and then I think a tree fell on it behind, and they were like, okay, forget it, we're starting over. I'll make sure you get to see it, Christopher. I'll edit it together and give it to you. Carmen says, my childhood neighborhood. This is 3139. So, starting around here, I have a post on the Hapeville channel. If you want to go to the channel, you can search and just put in Moorland Park, and you'll find a post and a video that I made, and it tells you which of these houses were original. This one was, that one was, and I think one more, and then 6 on this side, including that one. So this is the first one of the Moorland Park neighborhood, of the original 10 that didn't, that's dying. So, oh, okay, let's walk down Maple Street, shall we? Let's do that. We haven't done that before. Have you ever noticed this? In this area, when you look at the dates on the top of the manhole covers, it says 1937, which makes complete sense because that is the time frame when this acreage, when the couple who owned it sold this acreage to a developer. And then that lady was like, what are you doing in the middle of the road? They sold it to the developer and built these houses, and so the water system, the drainage system, would have to have come through in 37. Well, this house was built in 37, but it certainly looks different than it did back then. Maple Street is, it's got some nice houses that have been improved. This one was painted about 1.5 years ago. Good morning, Karen. Yeah, it's really cool. Every now and then you'll look down and you can see the dates, and then that corresponds with, for the most part, when the neighborhood was developed. So it's a nice giveaway for somebody like me who's always like, when, where, how, who, what. You can look at the manhole covers, and that tells. Isn't this one beautiful? 331 Maple Street. This one's really been done up purty. 333. Isn't that nice? And the sun is out today, which is beautiful. You can see the back of a couple houses that face Old Jonesboro Road. They look so small from the front, and then because they're on a hill, you go, wow, that's big. Chastity says that was the Rock House. Actually, the Rock House is down further. That was Sarah Kate's house, Tom Morris's sister. She built that house back in the day, but that is down that way a little bit further, the big Rock House. It's still there. Good morning, Brian. This is 344 Maple Street. They've always got all the bird houses hanging out and everything. They look really cute. This one, number 329, always interests me because it sits so far back from the other houses. And I always wonder how that happened, because when you build something in Hapeville now, you have to, the Planning Commission has a rule that the house has to be level with all the houses around it, just aesthetically. But that one's not, so who knows when that happened. It's number 320. Carmen says the Rock House is on the corner of Old Jonesboro and Moorland Way. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Here's number 316 Maple. $321. Look at the cute little gate they have right there. Gosh, it's pretty out today. Can I tell you how grateful I am for this technology, that I'm able to take these walks and share it with those of you who are interested. Here's number 317 Maple Street. 312. Here's number 308. 308 and 304 were remodeled or renovated. They were renovated, not really remodeled, but renovated last year and put up for sale, and here they are. They're identical, not in color, but in design. Here's number 313 Maple Street. and 305. Oh, I can imagine they're not going to be taking any walks right now, Brian. Not up there. I know, I'm very grateful to be able to take a walk this morning. We're coming up onto the intersection of 5th and Maple. 5th is a street that just, it's so strange to me. And there's like 4th and 5th, I think. But I don't, it's interesting to me because we're on the north side of Hapeville, almost to Mount Zion Road where Atlanta starts. So I think the numbered streets are more of an Atlanta thing. I think they kind of just bled into Hapeville. You can see they're doing some tree work here, which is always fascinating to watch in this town. But I'm gonna turn left onto 5th Street. But the thing is, there are really no addresses, like it goes through, but no one's really facing 5th Street until you get down to Mount Zion, and there's like this old apartment building back there. Really old, like I'm talking 1910. It looks that way anyway. Carmen says, hey, Mr. Glenn Summers, are you still living on North Fulton? Oh, Glenn is here. Good morning, Glenn. Thank you for being here, my friend. I really appreciate it. It is a beautiful day today. Look at this old building. This is 3140 A and B, so there's 2 apartments in here, but these have been here a while. And if their mailboxes are out here, that means that I would guess then their address is 5th Street. Isn't that odd, though, having a Hapeville address of 5th Street? I would imagine they're the only ones, because see, nobody else faces 5th Street. One thing that I do wish, I know why some streets are named what they're named in Hapeville, but there are more names of streets in this town that I don't know, and I go, how did that get named that? Why is that named that? And I wish the city had kept a close record of the street names and who named them and why they named them. Some of them have been passed along and people know, but others do not. Now, Moorland, of course, from what I can understand, it's named Moorland Way.